This is a story of a journey with a hydrogen car, not only across Europe, but across generations, from the closure of Austria's last hydrogen station in Innsbruck to the opening of Greece's first by motor oil. A Hyundai Nexo from the Green Energy Center Europe travels over 1,000 kilometers, linking two turning points in Europe's energy transition. Along the way, pioneers and scientists reflect on what lies between hope and hype, and how a new generation is carrying the mission forward from demonstration to true system integration.
Hydrogen, once hailed as the fuel of the future, clean, abundant, and full of promise. But as the world moves forward in the energy transition, opinions remain divided. This is a journey through two phases of hydrogen, from a closing station in the Austrian Alps to a newly lit flame in the south of Greece. This is a story about technology, hope, failure, and ambition. In Tyrol, the promise of hydrogen seems to be fading. The station in Innsbruck, once a symbol of innovation, is shutting down. The reason? It just wasn't profitable.
Bei dieser Gelegenheit haben sich die Erfahrungen in den letzten 10 Jahren in der Weise verdichtet, dass die Misserfolge, die wir hier alle miteinander erfahren mussten, aus 2 wesentlichen Gründen sich ergeben haben. Zum einen war es ein politisch motivierter, Ablehnungsmechanismus von Wasserstoff, der also rein auf die Wirkungsgraddiskussion in der Stromumwandlungskette bezogen war und nicht das Ganze von der Ressource Erzeugung von Wasserstoff bis hin zur Anwendung vorsah. Und auf der anderen Seite war es ein Wasserstoff-Hype, der so gesehen auch einen Wasserstoffrausch ausgelöst hat. Man hat also mit dem Argument Wasserstoff als Gamechanger in der Energiewirtschaft gehypt und mehr oder minder unterdrückt, dass im Hintergrund ganz massiv ein ganzer Wirtschaftszweig neu aufgebaut werden muss. Und im Moment befinden wir uns eher in der Ausnüchterungsphase dieses ersten Wasserstoffrausches, in dem wir eine Reihe von gescheiterten Projekten sehen und Stilllegungen von Wasserstoffanwendungen, wie hier im Hintergrund die Tankstelle nach Auslaufen der Förderungen.
For some, the closure confirms a suspicion. Hydrogen was never meant to work at this scale. For others, it's a missed opportunity caused by poor infrastructure, lack of policy support, and low demand. But the story doesn't end here. While hydrogen is being quietly retired in parts of Austria, a very different energy is building farther south. In the rolling hills of northern Greece, a bold new project is taking shape. Tri-Iris Hydrogen Valley. And so, we begin our journey, over 1,000 kilometers, through changing landscapes and uncertain weather. We set out in a hydrogen-powered car, chasing a promise that still burns brightly, at least in some corners of Europe. On our way, we meet Walter Huber, who has spent 2 decades nurturing a different kind of hydrogen future. Founder of the IIT Hydrogen Center in Bolzano, he believed early on in building a network of clean mobility. His station is still open, his optimism still intact.
Ich bin nach wie vor sehr überzeugt, dass die Technologie eine Technologie der Zukunft ist. Wir haben es hier mit Wasserstoff zu tun, das das Grundelement im gesamten Weltall und auch auf unserer Erde ist. Auch zusätzlich, die Erde selber produziert Wasserstoff in großem Ausmaße, im Erdinneren selber. Und es geht darum, dass wir diese Technologie jetzt spruchreif machen, Fördertechnik entwickeln, auch hier lokal wiederum Technologie mit zu installieren und wieder verfügbar zu machen für die Allgemeinheit.
And so we drive from the snowy peaks of Austria to the sun-drenched valleys of Greece. A hydrogen car, 1,000 kilometers, and a question that hangs in the air. Can this fuel still carry us forward? There was one moment of uncertainty. A ferry from Venice to Patras. Hydrogen, after all, still raises questions. In the end, the journey continued, not with certainty, but with grace. The kind that emerges when people choose to say yes to something new.
When the first idea of this trip was born, I really liked it. In the following months, a lot of questions arose. Are there enough refueling stations? Is it possible to board a ferry with a hydrogen electric car? What about insurance? What about other things? And most of these questions could not be answered actually until now, still, since we are still on the ferry. But from the last 10 years of experience in working in the reconstruction of the energy system and also hydrogen, I know that at some point you simply have to do it, and that's why we are on this way from Innsbruck, Austria to Corinth, to the new hydrogen refueling station, to answer it by simply doing it. Currently the reconstruction of the energy system away from oil, coal and gas to sun, wind and water are in a crisis. Therefore, I would say also hydrogen is in a crisis. A lot of resources that are necessary are not available. They are shifted to other things, war especially. And this makes it quite complicated to still continue, and also raises the questions in everyone participating. Is it possible to continue? Can I continue the work? Is it even the right path to follow? Is there maybe something easier to do with your life? And well, not easy to answer. On the other hand, within all these complexities, some things are quite clear. It's clear that it's getting hotter, and in the end of this process of the global warming, most probably, if we do nothing, we extinct ourselves. So this is maybe some, how to say, important scenario you have to follow. Second, we know what needs to be done. We know that the energy system needs to be reconstructed. We know we need to shift from oil, coal and gas to sun, wind and water. We already know, which we developed, I would say, in the last decade, the But the main focus has to be on electrification. Electric power is the main energy we need to do this reconstruction of the energy system. And what not so many know, but which is quite obvious to some people or people who are working in this field for also several years, is that with this electrification and the shift from energy carriers to electricity, we at some point will have a big issue because there is no energy carrier left. And this is our motivation and research, and also the Green Energy Center, also my personal motivation to not stop now, to continue work, say okay, hydrogen is necessary for this reconstruction of the energy system, knowing that it's not necessary today. We don't need it today, not at all. But we will need it in this process, we will need it in the next 10, 15 years, it will become vital. And therefore, we have to continue building up know-how, closing the gaps, the white spots, what we call it at our national hydrogen research association, Viva PNG, and do what's necessary to be then really able to get rid of oil, coal and gas. We're now on our way to Corinth, and we just passed this lovely spring here. And what people sometimes forget with hydrogen, that water is actually the essence of it. You need it to split, or the idea is to split water into hydrogen and oxygen, and at some point then recombine it. For example, in the fuel cell of our hydrogen car, the hydrogen from the hydrogen tank combined with the oxygen from the air bind together, and electricity is produced to power our electric vehicle.
Well, if you have enough.
Finally, we managed to arrive at the first refueling station of Greece today. At its final opening, the project officer was just here with the final testing and the final refueling. Everything worked out quite well, and yeah, actually we just did the first real commercial refueling at this new refueling station, and the first refueling station of Greece here at the facilities of Avin and Motor Oil.
The Three Iris project is one of Europe's newest hydrogen valleys, a testbed for a fully integrated, circular hydrogen economy, powered by sun and wind, led by the Motor Oil Hellas company. We meet the people behind this vision.
First of all, we are very happy and very proud having constructed the first refueling hydrogen station in Greece. For the future, we have done the start, which is important. Then we are here, we will evaluate the progress, and based on that we will see what will be our next steps. More specifically, apart from the station, we need customers. So we need to cooperate, we need to support, and we need to find stakeholders in order to make this viable for the next year. But we are here and ready to invest and to make the next station wherever is necessary.
Let me tell you how it started. When I arrived in Motor Oil, I saw that we had a big project to produce hydrogen, green hydrogen, because grey hydrogen is already produced there for many years. So the idea was to create an ecosystem, firstly to find off-takers. And we thought that we would need an instrument to support those that they would like to first study, and then if there is, the opportunity to use hydrogen in their applications. That's why we had the opportunity to meet with our good Austrian colleagues. That's why with Fen Research, and that's why we also went to the Netherlands, to Pateknoeben and the large valley in Groningen. And we also want to see how we could replicate what we would deliver at the end. And we brought on board Cyprus and then Egypt. We have a scope that is mid-far, but we really believe on that to produce clean fuels for shipping, for aviation, and all in all. We are really proud of this community that we have built, and I'm really optimistic that this project will be one of the most successful ones. We have already acquired the award for the best valley best hydrogen valley for 2024. But the job is not over. We have 2.5 years to go, and we will keep working hard to make this happen.
Here in Greece, we could feel the enthusiasm. But there's one question that remains. Will it last, or will the idea of hydrogen lose its drive at some point?
Thank you, Nikolaus. I think we know each other almost 10 years now. I think next year will be our 10 years anniversary, yeah, correct? It was, I remember, it was a few days before Easter time, back in 2016, when I get a message from another colleague from Spain that you were looking for a new coordinator to coordinate this demo for Greek project that was successfully run in Austria, in Innsbruck. And we had a few days left before the deadline, and we took over. And we had a successful proposal, and we worked on this project for more than 6 years with the delays and the extension that we got and the COVID crisis. We had everything in that project. And after that, I think we have now developed very close friendship and with you and the whole of your family, your father and your mother, your wife, your kids. And we are still trying to cooperate in a lot of hydrogen projects. We have now a new common project on hydrogen Triris Valley, which is the first Greek hydrogen valley that is being realized here in Greece from motor oil. And hopefully we might have a new one, the H2 Brenner, that we expect the results. It's a big, large-scale hydrogen valley between Italy, Austria, and Germany. So yes, we know each other quite a lot, and I'm very happy for this because it was really my pleasure that I met you and your family, and we keep collaborating. But I'm not talking only on the business side. I really see you and your family as close friends.
We set out searching for answers. What we found were contradictions, determination, and a shared hunger for solutions. Hydrogen won't save the world. No single solution will. Or perhaps it's not about finding the answer. Perhaps it's about not giving up on trying. From doubt to determination, from closure to creation, this was the road to hydrogen. The road, perhaps, to something better.